Good morning, 6:04 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 26 minutes to that opening bell. We've had an hour and 4 minutes of futures trading called the E-mini, which is at Nasdaq 100. And what kind of stocks are in there? Leadership stocks. We also have the S&P 500 here in pre-market, and you can see that during this time frame on the futures, both this one being the Nasdaq 100 right here, and this one is the S&P 500, and they both hit their bottom line. Now, MMTs, this is live, as you know, and we've let an hour and 4 minutes go by of the futures. The thing about gauging a pre-market and understanding the futures hour and a half between the buyer and the seller in that pre-market is usually a carryover into the opening bell. And how do I square an opening bell? And how do I make a bid and ask within a 15-minute time frame, a 30-minute time frame between buyers and sellers that are making transactions in equities? But what we are doing is we're getting in the middle of the entry, and then we're exiting when the ask gets bid up. When they mark up that side of the tape, we already have our limit orders out there. But we're going to watch and show people how the futures market have broke their key support levels today. And when this happens in pre-market, when stocks recover, when we go into that opening bell, the behavior of that opening bell within the bid and ask is when they mark them up, they will hit these key resistance levels now that we know what they are, and they start right up here. And you'll see small moves, but you can see from the point of distance from the original reversal, and this is on the Nasdaq 100, we can just start right here, but we marked it here, and then we marked it here. What matters is, how do I know that this move here, what starts down where the X is, okay, so there's your trend line, and it's live right now. This is not after the fact. This is in. So how do I apply this? This move would have to close above the half bar right here. It would have to consolidate, and it would have to have the equal distance, and it would have to be a green bar, and it would have to be the equal distance and consolidate, and then break back above the tops. What will happen is equities will go up to lower highs. They fell at the half bar, the leadership in the Nasdaq 100, the ones that we make markets on, and I'll go over something like Google here in a second. And here is the E-minis getting support down here. But once again, it started up here. This is where the price decline starts. And then it comes down, it comes up, it tests always right in here. But what do you always have? That red bar, this big red bar right here. And then they start to go in this direction in your MMT platform. When they bounce up, they're always met with the green bar. And they're always met with another reversal bar within your MMT platform. This is, once again, E-mini S&P 500 futures applied to stock opening bell. Meaning that when you open the bell, your stocks are going to start to move. Then your options and your calls and puts are also going to move accordingly in price action. Now, when we look at where that buyer is in pre-market low volume, 6:08 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12/12/2011, and it's time stamped at this reversal point. So let's put an X right there. And you can see how the reversal points start in the futures in the Nasdaq 100. So what does that mean? It means stocks like Google that closed at 627.42 are gapping down right now at 623 with this movement. This is part of this reversal because it's a leader in the Nasdaq 100. So naturally, that's what this is. It's a futures contract, and it's showing right now that the directional price future between the buyer and the seller in pre-market 12/12 2011 at this point are weaker than the buyer is weaker. Now, when we buy the left elbow gap down, we can see that if we're getting support here in the futures, we're going to get support over here on that bid. And 623.16 by 624, it's $1 wide. Okay? And I'm watching this Emini S&P 500 because I want to see if this can hold this bottom and we start to move up. I can get right back over to this Nasdaq 100 chart, and I can clearly see that from the reversal points to that low. So we can all see that. Another reversal right up here, okay, to this low. Now, let's take what I'm talking about. This bar here in the Nasdaq 100, Google finds a lower bid here when this stabilizes 6:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12/12/2011, live price print here and now, stockmarketfunding.com, info at stockmarketfunding.com, how to trade futures. What we would be looking for is I come up to resistance level in here, MMTs, and I roll over. That's going to tell you what the forward-looking part of the opening bell in 19 minutes will be like. Okay? And what it means right now is when the opening print from 627.42 is being marked down mathematically to this bid of 623.18, you can see the dollar ratio, negative dollar ratio bid, close, PC, to the bid. The ask, you can see how wide that is. But you can also see your Nasdaq 100 futures that are ticking right up here at this first resistance level live. And you're not breaking. You have to have green bars on the way up, just like you did on the way down in the futures market, to say that that opening bell is going to be really strong. But rather, where do I know how to sell short into the high of the move and let those price action points would be confirmed with new reversal bars, and you need confirmation. And in the futures market in the Nasdaq 100, that means Apple over here, which I'll show you. Apple right here closes at 393.62, and your bid is 392.20. That's a left elbow gap down to the price. Okay? And you know that it's part of this Nasdaq 100 where my pointer is. Okay, here's Nasdaq 100. It's still in a live video. And when they go down, that means that that closing price mark to market here to the bid is where we look at buying and where they would hold the bottom and consolidate, and it would look like this on the opening bell. Opening bell 17 minutes 12/12/2011 recap, Nasdaq 100 mark to market bid, Google to the wholesale entry level in pre-market futures, S&P 500, E-mini futures have been selling off all day, and we know that this side of the market, what the public in pre-market is to this side. That's the longer downtrend line. And the problem is that this low here, this low on the S&P here, it's consolidating, but it will have to close above this price action level, and it's not, and it's rolling over, and it's holding the trend line is going to be where the futures of that E-mini will be, just like on the indexes, the S&P 500 index. Go look at the leadership in the S&P 500 index, pick out the highest beta weak ones, and look at selling short those going forward. Amazon.com is down $3.57. I'm going to put this video at rest going into the opening bell, 16 minutes. The time now is 6:14 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12/12/2011, December. Merry Christmas, everyone. There is your week consolidation. So, once again, how do I use this market as forward-looking on the opening bell and the price pattern relationship net between the buyer and the seller?